Hey guys, so today we are in front of my front door and I am trying to hold this massive camera up because I want to show you guys what is happening here. So this is the situation here. This is the door and we have this big gap underneath it that the wind comes through. So look at this, this is just an ordinary piece of paper. So today, I thought I would take you guys on an adventure to make a DIY draft stopper. Originally I had a towel across here, which would be fine, but now I actually want to use that towel for its intended purpose of a towel. So I thought we would make a dedicated door stopper. We're back at my desk now and I measured the door. The door is 36 inches. I'm going to want 2 inches either side, so I'm going to aim for a minimum of 40 inches. What I'm going to make it out of, this like bag that sheets came in, I'm just going to unpick this and also unpick the sides so I have a long piece of material to work with. I just can't get over. Well, that wasn't expected, but I'm just gonna cut it. So how thick do I want it? That size is probably good. I mean, it's definitely gonna block the draft. So that is like 7.5 inches divided by 3.14 equals 2.38. That really isn't that much at all. We're going with 3 inches. So I'm just gonna use some pins to mark out where I'm gonna cut. So I'm working off 3¼ inches. The 1/4 inch is gonna be the seam allowance. Okay, so my camera died, but what happened there was I have cut this long piece of material now. Because this is dark material, I'm just gonna change my thread to a dark color. Change the bobbin thread. There's some I prepared earlier. We're all threaded, ready to go. Alright, so now we have this long tube and I'm just gonna sew right along the edge. So now we have a big long tube. So I'm just going to close one seam and then going to fill it up with rice. If you're thinking about filling it with sand, I'd probably avoid that if you can, because the sand grains are going to like fall out between the stitches. Or otherwise you'd need to put the sand into some sort of tube and then put it into this, but I mean, why not use rice? So now we have this big long tube, one end is closed, one end is still open, and we're going to turn it the right way out. If you had a funnel, that would probably be ideal. I do not. We're just gonna hope for the best here. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna need the vacuum. too full because you want some like room for it to like mold to the shape of the door. If it's too filled, then it's just going to be really stiff and it's not going to like be able to fill those gaps. And I think a little bit more. Also, if you overfill it, you're going to have a lot of trouble closing it up. It looks like I'm going to use a lot less than I thought I'd need. I won't even use 2 kilos. So I'm happy with that. I mean, it's definitely like a moldable shape. Does anyone else use these little bulldog clips for like closing food packages? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck the edges in. I'm just gonna close that up with pins. I could sew it on the machine, but that would mean I'd have a seam that's like a bit different to the other end. So I'm just gonna quickly hand sew that up. Doing a few stitches to secure the end. I thought that was rice coming out of the end for a second there. I was like, oh my gosh, where did I go wrong? But no, that's just rice on the table. Look at this. Alrighty, let's go test it out, shall we? Here we are back on the floor for the moment of truth. Give it a whirl. And this is why we didn't fill her up completely, because we want a bit of wiggle room so it can really mold to the shape of the door. And I am pretty pleased with it. It's definitely long enough. Yeah, it's got a 2-inch overhang on each side, and yeah, it really molds to the door. So yeah, there's no draft. Oh hey, hello. Come here. Come here. He's so confused. Hello. So hopefully this was easy enough to follow along, and hopefully you're inspired to make this at home if you need a draft stopper as well, or even a door stopper. If you have a, not for super heavy doors, but maybe it could be used for lighter doors. You could just make it out of an old pillowcase. Yeah, and rice is readily available. I mean, I think everyone has some rice in their pantry. But yeah, if you like this little tutorial, be sure to give it a thumbs up to see more. And yeah, thanks guys. Bye.